Alright, so we're at the end of winter. I have some friends coming over for dinner. I'm filming the first segment for my new magazine. I'm making my mom's chili. And I think we should just get right into this. It's pretty simple, it's pretty easy, and this is how it's going to go down. So before I get a whole bunch of emails and calls from my aunts, I just want to say that I've done my little own spin on this over the years because I make it just a little bit different than my family. I put a little bit of olive oil in a pan because I like to use ground sirloin or ground chuck. It's a little bit of a spin on what my family uses hamburger, but got a really great price on this today, so I'm just going to put this in here, kind of break that up a little bit. And as this starts to cook, I don't want to break it up too much because I want to get big spoonfuls of meat in my chili. Chili should always be nice and chunky. Okay? So what I do is for every can of tomatoes, can of beans, I usually like to put in about a medium to a large onion, just whatever you want. I'm going to put that in right at the same time and let those brown up together. Okay. So I just like a really rough kind of course, you know, nothing too bigger, nothing too big, nothing that's going to not be able to fit on a spoon. This is comfort food after all. I want it to be easy to get down. Alright, so this goes in here. Just going to let that all kind of get together. I would normally use a really big pot, but for this video I think it's going to be a little bit easier to do it in a small pot. I'll transfer it over later, but I put some garlic in there. I put about 2 tablespoons for each pound of ground beef or ground meat, and I've got 3 pounds of ground sirloin in here. So I've got about 6 tablespoons of chili powder. I'm just going to put that right in. I don't like to use too much salt because I'm going to salt the pasta water later, and I'll add some of that to kind of balance out the ratio of the chili. I'm back. Okay, my friend Joe's coming over for dinner, and he brought me this hat. Isn't it great? Okay, so I had to transfer the meat and the onions into another pot because this is going to be too big for this pot, obviously. But I've got this water going for some pasta. I'm going to throw these canned tomatoes in here, and I just had a can of sliced tomatoes, and I had a can of diced tomatoes, and that was what's in the cupboard, and that's what's going in there. Traditionally, my family uses dark red kidney beans. They're a little intense for me, so I like to mix like a can of light red and a can of dark red kidney beans. You use whatever you have. I've used red beans because that's what I've had in my cupboard. So that's what you do. You get this all in there. Meat, all beans, tomato, boom, in the pot. You're gonna let this kind of simmer away. You're gonna get some really, Lydia says, salty like the sea. Okay? Throw some spaghetti in there. Let that cook. Gonna mix them together. We're almost done. That's my voice I talk to my babies with, you know. Are you on through any of this at all?
No.
In between?
Mm-mm.
Always used to use just chili powder. Nondescript chili powder, because that's just like what my whole family uses. Just,
right.
You know what I mean? I've rinsed out my cans. I've taken the paper labels off and put everything in the proper recycling bins. The spaghetti's just about finishing up. I've got the oven on. I'm going to throw this beautiful loaf of bread in. And we're almost ready to eat. I've eaten mouthfuls of food off of this spoon, man.
Big
Are we
ones.
on?
Yes.
Are we on?
Yes.
Good, because you know what? I want the world to know this. This is your mom's spoon and my mom's chili, man. If there's any left over, this is always better the next day. It freezes well. In my family, you know, and you can let this cook for as long as you want. I could have started this early this afternoon. It's great for that reason. You can put it together for now. You could start in the afternoon, and you know, people are coming in over the holidays. That's what my family always did, and there was just always a pot of chili on the stove. You know, you can just kind of really quick heat it back up, and it seems that the more it's done its thing and it's been out there and been around, the better it gets. So you're gonna eat good tonight. Okay, so the bread has heated up pretty good. You take this out of the oven. All right. And scoop it up, it's ready to go. So here's the deal. I don't like to break the spaghetti because just as much as there's like everybody in my family and everybody that'll make this will just put their own little spin on it a little bit, eating it's part of the fun too. So whether you use a fork or a spoon, it doesn't matter. Cut it up, do whatever, but let everybody make their own choice. So serve this with your great bread. And little butter. This is really warm. This is great. And you're ready to eat, okay? So, what I'm gonna do is serve up a couple more of these for my family, because we're all hungry, and you try the chili and you let me know how it goes.
Right now.
Oh, I didn't do the thing about like, oh, it smells so good. I wish I had smell-o-vision. Right? I wish I had smell-o-vision. Alright. Alright, let's go feed the world.